What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm bringing you guys a brand new video. This is aimed at all beginners, everybody that just copped the BMW, you're under warranty, but you want to start modding it. You want to be budget friendly while retaining your factory warranty. These are the first mods you're going to want to do to your BMW. Before I get into the video, make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, as you can tell, I've already gone and upgraded my OEM intakes to Project Gamma front-mounted intakes here. So as a beginner, you're not even looking at this yet. Before you do all that, you're gonna wanna do this. As an example, here is my stock OEM airbox. This is one of two. This car has two turbos, it came with two airboxes, two intakes. So I'm gonna use this one as my example. I've already loosened it up. So here's what you're gonna do now as a beginner. I've already loosened it. We're gonna take this apart and hopefully nothing drops too crazy. Here we go. Put this aside. So in your OEM stock airbox from BMW, you're gonna have a filter in it. This is not the filter. This is the filter that you're gonna get and put in this airbox. So from factory, in this airbox, the filter from BMW, the stock OEM one, it's a paper filter. It's more restrictive than this. And there's also a second filter behind that filter. It's called a charcoal filter. Basically, what I'm trying to say is there's a lot in the way of the airflow. Yes, it's good, it's cleaning the air, but you're not getting as much air as you could get with one of these. This is a BMC intake air filter. K&N also makes one too. They're both very reputable. So let's keep in mind, the whole point of switching to a filter like this is to supply the engine with more air. More air is going to lead to making slightly more power. You're also going to hear the air induction. You're going to hear the air getting sucked into the engine to create that power, and it sounds amazing. It'll be very subtle and slight, but if you play your music low, or if you're listening to a podcast while you're driving, you'll definitely hear it. It's subtle and it's fun. Until you commit to a full aftermarket cold air intake, this is your best bet. And of course, the stock airbox design from factory from BMW is technically the most efficient and best way to go about it. You could definitely just keep this filter with your stock airbox and never even bother to upgrade to a cold air intake. My favorite benefits of upgrading to this intake filter is the better throttle response from the pedal. You'll definitely feel it a little bit more responsive. You'll also hear more air induction. You're going to hear that air getting sucked into the engine to create more power. It's very subtle. It's slightly more power. You might not even notice it, but you'll definitely notice how the pedal feels, and you'll definitely hear a little bit more induction sound. And now for the second mod you're going to want to do. As a beginner, here's the deal. If you were to buy a modern BMW today, a lot of them are using OEM oil that's only 0W20 or even 5W20. Now, 20 means it's a pretty thin oil. It's not that thick. The thin oil gets the engine up to temperature faster, so you'll get slightly better gas mileage, and it's better for the emissions. So of course, BMW, the manufacturer, wants to make more sales. So of course, they're gonna go with that because it looks good on paper and they can advertise better numbers. But the thinner oil is not good for the long-term life of the car. You're buying this car and you plan to keep it for a while. Most likely, you're not leasing it. You actually want it to run good for a while. So here's the deal. BMW is known to over-engineer, just like almost all the German brands and European brands. They over-engineer these cars. There's more mechanical parts. There's more things going on. Oil is the blood of the car. In general, a lot of German cars, a lot of European cars, they tend to make more power. Their engines need to perform under all conditions. Ideally, you're going to want a thicker oil. Now, personally, I've upgraded to 5W40 from Motul. It doesn't have to be Motul for you, but the idea is you want a thicker oil. It could be 5W30. That's better than the 0W20 coming from factory on a lot of modern BMWs. What you want to look for is BMW LL01, Lifelong 01. That's basically the seal of approval from BMW saying, hey, This is the oil we recommend you use. This is the type of oil we recommend that you use. It's also been certified by a lot of other manufacturers here. You can see Porsche, you can see Mercedes-Benz, Fiat, GM, Volkswagen, you name it. They have a very good reputation. So this is a mod. You can buy the oil change kit from FCP Euro for under $100. The whole point of this video is for beginner mods that you can do yourself, that are warranty friendly and cheap. This oil change kit will be under $100. Buying through FCP Euro, you'll definitely be able to take advantage of the lifelong guarantee where you can send back the oil and get a store credit for the next time you buy oil again in the future. I have a video all about that. I'll go ahead and link that in the description. So this thicker oil, 5W40, it is amazing for these cars. They make a lot of power, so they get hot really fast. Now, living out here, these engines are going to be hot. It's going to be summer. You're going to be sitting in traffic, stuck for maybe an hour, depending how things are where you live. Engines are going to get hot. Engines tend to overheat. So you want a thicker oil that's not going to end up burning out. The thinner oils, they heat up faster, but they end up burning out. With a thicker oil, you don't have to worry about the engine burning up the oil. Now, BMW, there's a stereotype. They're known to drink oil. They burn it up. The engines are high-powered. They're hot. The owners tend to drive them hard because they're fun cars to push. Whether you're on the highway, whether you're on the track, or you're just being ignorant. So the engine needs to perform, and it wants thicker oil. That stereotype of BMWs drinking oil, I think it's very true. Almost all stereotypes come from some form of truth. When I had my 335, I used to have to keep one of these in the trunk. Why do you think I have this quart on me right now? It's just a habit. I keep this in the trunk. I've never had to add oil to this car yet. I've never gotten that message on the iDrive to add oil, I'm running low. But I used to get that message on my old 335. A friend of mine has a 550, the V8 N63. That thing is known to drink oil. He always kept one of these in the trunk. He was constantly adding oil. So it's very true. At some point, these cars tend to burn oil. So you're gonna be better off with a thicker oil that won't just burn up and run too thin. Now, the final mod I wanted to show you guys, this one is essentially free. Almost every BMW owner knows about this, but you're a beginner, so you're new to all this. So it's my job to show you guys. And I might have to refilm this part when I get back home under the ramps because I can barely squeeze under here, and this car has been lowered slightly. Either way, I think I need to get the car up on the ramps in order to film this part. So we're back home. Now we can take a good look at the third and final mod for every and any beginner. So this is a very simple and easy and essentially a free exhaust mod. Here you can see this is one of the valve actuators. These BMW exhausts, they have valves in them that open and close based on if you're at efficient mode or if you're at sport mode and how high your RPMs are. So normally there's one valve in these pipes closed, so it's more quiet. So ideally, the mod is this. We're gonna keep the valves always open. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go ahead and start the car. You're gonna have it run for a little bit. That way it's warm, so you don't wanna rev a cold engine. You're gonna put it in Sport Plus or Sport. You're gonna put it in the most aggressive mode that it has. Give it a few revs in the high RPMs. The valves are gonna open. So once those valves are open, you come back here underneath the exhaust now, and you locate one of these valve solenoids and valve actuators, whatever you want to call them. Basically, you're going to see a wire plugged into this. So what you want to do is, once the valves are open, you're going to unplug this connector, and once you unplug it, you can wrap it with electrical tape to protect it, and then go ahead and re-plug it back in, even though you just covered it with electrical tape. This way, it will not make a connection, but it'll be protecting it from the outside elements. And finally, I would zip tie it together. That way you don't have to worry that it might just pop off while you're driving. Just take one look, and you can see that exhaust valve in there is open. And it's gonna stay that way. This one doesn't have a valve, but here you can see the exhaust valve. On my car here, you can see it has another valve right there on the other side. So both of them are open. They're always open. The whole point about this mod is just to give you a little bit more rumble on your daily commute. The exhaust will sound better. It'll be more fun as you're doing daily driving. This is gonna liven up your daily driving. It'll make life a little bit more fun. Until you're ready to commit to an aftermarket exhaust, it's the best free mod you can do as a new owner and as a beginner. It's very simple and easy to do. Here you can see the system I have. I have the AWE switch path exhaust muffler in the back. Then I have that paired with Active AutoWorks equal length mid pipe. I had to have a shop make a custom connection just to make this happen, but it's totally worth it. And there you have it. Those are the 3 easiest beginner-friendly mods that I picked for you guys. I purposely picked these 3 mods because I've done them. I've experienced them. I'm telling you right now, they're functional, they're cheap, they're affordable, they're under warranty. They don't void your warranty. They're very warranty-friendly. The more you start to mod your car and get hands-on with these things, you're gonna build your confidence and you're gonna wanna do more. And it feels good to do it. These are mods that every beginner should do. It'll help build your confidence as you do more hands-on work to the car yourself. And it's the perfect way to introduce you into the beautiful world of modifying your own car and doing everything yourself. If you've made it this far into the video, I want to thank you guys. I'm going to ask you to go ahead and give me a like. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We're on the way to 1,000. We're getting there closer and closer every day. I've got more content coming on the way. Stay tuned.